أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأفضل الصلاة وأتم التسليم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. Inshallah, tonight we are reflecting on the 22nd juz of the Qur'an, and this juz consists of Surah al-Aḥzāb, Surah Saba, and Surah Fatir. Our focus, inshallah, will be on one of the major themes of Surah al-Aḥzāb, which is the role of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the adab that we should have with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the place of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in our lives, in both in his lifetime and in his passing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there's a series of very profound verses in the midst of Surah al-Aḥzāb that clarify the role of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Allah mentions 5 attributes in succession. Ya ayyuhan nabiyyu inna arsalnaka shahidan wa mubashiran wa nadhira. O Prophet, we indeed have sent you as a witness and a bringer of glad tidings and a warner. وَدَاعِيًا إِلَى اللَّهِ بِإِذْنِهِ, and a caller to God by his permission. وَسِرَاجًا مُنِيرًا, and as a light-giving lamp. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. These 5 attributes are attributes that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam fulfills in his lifetime and continues to fulfill. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is a witness. His Sunnah, alayhi salatu wassalam, is the criterion of what is right and what is wrong, of what is pleasing to Allah and what is displeasing to Allah. He brings the glad tidings of the promise of Allah's mercy, of the promise of eternal bliss in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he brings the warning of a painful punishment for those who disobey Allah. He calls to Allah by his permission. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam doesn't bring anything from his own desires, from his own preferences, from his whims. His message comes by the instruction and through the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And in all of that, he is the source of light that allows us to see. He is the source of light that allows us to see things as they are. And later in the verse, in Surah al-Aḥzāb, Allah gives an instruction to every believer, regardless of time and place, about the way that we should relate to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He says, "Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi." Indeed, Allah and His angels send prayers and blessings upon the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. O you who believe, send blessings upon him and abundant greetings of peace. Sallallahu alayhi wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. The practice of sending salawat on Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is something that the companions learned from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and that they passed on to every generation of the ummah. Our salah is not valid without it. He said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, whoever sends salat upon me once, Allah sends salat upon him 10 times. Whoever sends salam to me, Allah returns my soul to me so that I can respond to his salam. And he said, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that your salah that you send to me is presented to me. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One of the great signs of Allah in the ummah and in the history of Islam is the relationship with the Prophet ﷺ that is created and nurtured and infused through salawat on the Prophet ﷺ. He said that the people closest to me in the hereafter are not necessarily those who were in physical proximity in dunya. The closest of people to the Prophet ﷺ in the hereafter are those who did what? Sent the most abundant salawat upon him in this world. And generation after generation, across every Muslim culture, people who send abundant salawat on the Prophet ﷺ and learn and absorb and propagate his teachings, they become close to him ﷺ. And that closeness, they become his inheritors. And they become living exemplars who embody those 5 roles that he passed on as an inheritance within the ummah. That you see people whose faces are bright. You see people whose moral example provides testimony and witness. And they become like the lamp, giving guidance in their region, in their place, in the ummah of Rasulullah ﷺ. It exists in every Muslim culture today. It exists in every Muslim culture historically. It exists across time. It exists across space. And it is a connection that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifts to people He chooses to become close to Rasulullah ﷺ, again through sending those abundant salawat and through embodying His Sunnah that is summed up in those 5 attributes. It's one of the great signs of Allah. It's something that is visible in the ummah. It's something that is tangible in the lives of people who truly are close to Rasulullah ﷺ. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He allow us to follow in the footsteps of those people. We ask Allah that He allow us to meet those people and to support them and to understand the mission of the Prophet ﷺ and to follow his Sunnah to the best of our ability, to the best of our capacity. Jazakumullahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.